So there's been a lot of discussion going on in our neighborhood, New Longview, on Facebook, in the NLV Gals group in particular, about the shared amenities agreement that allows Kessler Ridge to use facilities in New Longview. I wanted to call your attention to the actual agreement itself and go through some of the concerns I have. My biggest concerns with the agreement are threefold. The first is the obligation for Kessler Ridge to participate in capital improvements and repairs of our facility, the pool, the park, etc. Also, I'm concerned that there is no sort of indemnity agreement contained in the shared amenities agreement, so that if a child from Kessler Ridge was to get hurt at the New Longview pool, the New Longview Homeowners Association would be on the hook for that. And then finally, and I think the biggest concern is going to be addressing the alleged agreement whereby David Gale would gain control of the land by the pond, at least partially, in exchange for the shared amenities agreement. So we'll go through all those three things in kind of order. What you're looking at here is a document that was filed with the Jackson County Recorder of Deeds. It's publicly available. You can see it was filed on December 7th, 2016. It's titled a Shared Amenities Agreement. The agreement itself is between New Longview Community Association, which the president is David Gale, and M3 Longview LLC, which is Mariner Real Estate. At times, I'll just refer to New Longview Community Association as Dave Gale and M3 Longview as Mariner, just for ease in this video. So this is a fairly simple agreement, just a few pages long. The core of it is that in paragraph 2, we grant Kessler Ridge residents the non-exclusive easement, or basically essentially a license, to use our facilities, and in exchange, Kessler Ridge grants us the right to use their facilities. Now, right now, we'll show you on a map a little later, there's no amenities planned in Kessler Ridge that would be of much benefit to the residents of New Longview. Whether there are planned amenities in the future, I can't really say. But that brings us to paragraph 4, which is the beginning of my concern, and that is that New Longview Association is responsible for repairing, maintaining, replacing our amenities. And that means that for the $200 a year that Kessler Ridge will pay, for 40 years, they'll have the right to use our pool. But if there are repairs that need to be made or improvements that need to be made, they won't be on the hook for any of those repairs or improvements, despite the fact they will have contributed to the decline of the pool over that period of time. Now, whether you know it or not, I've been told that our pool was over $1 million to build. And if you know much about pools, it's unlikely that that pool will last to be 50 years old plus before needing to be replaced. That means at some point in the future, New Longview will be on the hook for repairing or replacing that pool. Kessler Ridge will not be obligated to contribute to it. And that's my first big concern. The second big concern is something that is not contained in the agreement, and that is an indemnity, which should be fairly common in this kind of agreement. And an indemnity would basically say that should there be a problem with our amenities, we will not be liable to residents of Kessler Ridge for problems that occur in those amenities. For instance, if someone is injured in our pool from Kessler Ridge, suddenly the Homeowners Association is on the hook for the entirety of that liability. Now, the agreement does address insurance, and it requires us to keep a $1 million, $2 million policy. But other than that, there's not a normal indemnity agreement. And then finally, paragraph 8. And I don't really know what to say about this. I'm sure there's more agreements out there that speak to this a little bit better. I certainly hope. But what has been told to me, and I haven't heard David Gale officially address this, was that in exchange for this agreement with Kessler, he would have the right to control the land surrounding the pond, so that we had some architectural control over the houses that were built there. Since they're so close to New Longview. But if you look at paragraph 8, there really is no obligation by Kessler Ridge of any kind to ever convey the property to David Gale or the New Longview Association. If you read, it is that Kessler Ridge has the right to convey to New Longview Association the tract around the lake and pergola, and that's contained there at the top of paragraph 8. Then there's a series of conditions, etc. But at the end of that, you'll see Kessler Ridge developer shall have the right to convey the pergola tract and retain or delay the tract whenever the foregoing conditions have been satisfied with respect to the tract to be conveyed. In other words, there is nothing contained in this paragraph that requires Mariner to convey the property to David Gale. It's more of an open-ended promise or a framework for what they could do if they so choose, but there's really no obligation. Now that seems contrary to what we've been told. I want to make a caveat here that there are a lot of other documents that were filed on the same day as this shared amenities agreement. The biggest of those was the turnover of the homeowners association, the developer rights of our homeowners association from David Gale to Mariner. It's my first read of it is fairly complicated, and it looks a little bit sloppy in that Mariner has all the rights of the developer unless there were obligations that preceded Mariner's taking it over. And so when you see the word developer in any document filed after that, it can sometimes be unclear whether that word developer refers to David Gale, the original developer of New Longview, or whether it refers to Mariner, who has taken over developer rights. So I'll go through those documents in another video, but I wanted to get the shared amenities agreements to you guys right away so you could take a look at it. If you want to go look at these things yourself, there's a few websites that'll help you out. This is the Recorder of Deeds website, and it will allow you to obtain a copy of our homeowners association agreement, any restrictive covenants, any kind of documents that are filed officially with the Recorder of Deeds. And this is the Jackson County, Missouri GIS. It allows you to go partial by partial and find any documents that affect that partial. I don't know how up to date this is. It appears to be pretty up to date, but can't guarantee that. But you'll see as you zoom in, you can locate Fascination Drive and Longview Boulevard. You can go to our neighborhood and see the pond in our neighborhood there. And a simple click here will reveal the owner as Mariner, M3 Longview. And this is the little parcel of land that we refer to as the woods or the forest by my house. You can see it's owned by the New Longview Community Association, of which David Gale is president. You can go up to Kessler Ridge and see the plat, at least the one that's on file now. I don't know if this has changed or not, but you can see the plat and you can see the common kind of flood area here in each one of these individual lots. If you click on it, you'll see is owned by M3 Longview, which is Mariner, and you can click on that report. So if you want any of these websites or anything, you need the addresses, just give me a call or send me an email or hit me up on this Facebook post and let me know.